an 8-year-old girl, according to reports from Yemen, an 8-year-old girl has died after her wedding night due to being raped by a man over 5 times her age, over a 40-year-old man that she was married off to by her parents. An initial report declared that death was caused by vaginal ripping and tearing, but now Dubai-based news reports are saying that Yemeni officials are denying that the death was caused by vaginal tearing. However, that is just speculation at this point. As to cause of death, we're not exactly sure. I also tend to believe that Yemeni officials would be interested in covering up the details of this as much as possible in order to cover their own asses. But anyway, I digress. In any case, no matter what the cause of death was to this young girl, this story brings to attention the continued problem of child brides being married off against their own will. Kuwaiti activists are calling for action to be taken against the husband as well as the parents who allowed the marriage to take place in the first place. And according to one report in Yemen, over 25% of Yemen girls are married off before the age of 15. So this is not an isolated incident. This is not an isolated case. Actually, in February of 2009, some Yemeni legislators tried to pass a law. They actually did succeed in passing a law which would have required the minimum age for marriage to go up to 17 years of age. However, that law was repealed after conservative lawmakers in the country declared that the law itself was, quote, un-Islamic.
Okay, fundamentalists. There's the problem right there. Fucking fundamentalists. I don't care if you're Islamic fundamentalist, or if you're a Christian fundamentalist, or any sort of fundamentalist. When you do shit like that, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're a bad person. Or you're a bad group of people. Getting rid of a law that would have raised the age of marriage so that you wouldn't have child brides, and whether or not the story is true that she died from, that she died from sexual injuries from a 40-year-old man while she's 8 years old. Remember, she's 8 years old. Whether it's true or not, it's stuff like that that's absolutely 100% wrong. Children should not be married.
Right. And there was another case.
Not be married. And these people, these conservatives, these Islamic conservatives, because a conservative is a conservative. It bothers me. It really bothers me.
Yeah, I know what you. There's something truly horrifying about this story. Something that makes you look twice and wonder if it could possibly be real. But it is, and it happens all the time. There are 39,000 girls under the age of 18 that are married off every day. That's another statistic I had to read because I thought at first it said 39,000 girls every year, but it's 39,000 girls every day in various countries throughout the world. And in 2010, there was a similar case to this one wherein a 13-year-old child bride died 5 days after her wedding night due to internal rupturing.
That's fucking sick, man.
That just sounds horrible. Now, we're all gonna be in trouble because we're not being very cultural relativisty and saying that this is wrong because it doesn't. Yeah, I know.
That shit right there. We're going to be real about this and say that any country that allows this stuff, you're a bad country.
You didn't even let me get around to the to that point, but no, this story is ridiculous. I can't believe that they had the law at 17 and then they repealed it. At least work on where's the compromise? Move it to 16. Work something out. You know what I mean? But the age of consent is a made up concept, right? In general, right? I'm not trying to be a cultural relativist, so calm down. It's a made up concept in general, but we're not even. This is an 8-year-old. There's nothing. Who
It
wants
shouldn't
to marry an
even be a
8-year-old?
question. That's a good question. Who wants to marry an 8-year-old? A pedophile.
Like, but
Bingo.
the point I was trying to make is we have there's a debate on whether the age should be moved here from like between 16 and 18, like somewhere in that range instead of straight 18 and all that.
Right, but 8 shouldn't be an argument, right?
There's an 8-year-old, there's a prepubescent girl. Even the Catholic Church, when they put out like their comical report that said it's not pedophilia if the child is under 10, that fits even with the Catholic Church. So the priest shouldn't even be allowed to molest them according to that. Like, this is crazy, and the fact that like they injured her is just like the way she was injured is sick. Like, or the way she was killed. But
this is fundamentalist religion, and this is just a terrible culture. Now, I'm not calling their entire culture bad, but I am calling this bad. This is bad.
Yeah.
Right. There are some things that aren't. Some things that aren't about culture. I do believe that there are some things that are objectively just wrong, and marrying and raping an 8-year-old girl is included in that list.
Yeah.
And the thing is like it's okay to like change your like I know like in the Quran there's an incident of a prophet who marries a young girl, I think at 6, and they consummate at 9. Like, I understand that's in your holy book. Yeah, I know. But I understand it's in your holy book, but like the Mormons like had polygamy for years, and then they just decided when they wanted to become a state that we're just going to forget about that part. Like, according to their law.
Religion. You can cherry pick your religion. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but a lot of Christians cherry pick their religion too.
Every one of them?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like,
if you can cherry pick out the stuff that you like, well, you can also take out the stuff that you don't like, unless you like marrying off 8-year-old girls and having sex with them, which makes you a sick fucking freak pedophile.
Yeah, but you can do it with anything. It doesn't just have to be your religion. I like Thomas Jefferson because of his ideas, but I don't want to own slaves. I think he was wrong in that aspect. You could say, hey, look, I believe that this is right and this is moral, and I believe that we just shouldn't be doing that anymore. I'm thinking marrying 8-year-olds and having sex with 8-year-old girls is probably in the second category of maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. Like, come on, like Yemen should
not be doing this anymore.
And we shouldn't be sending aid to countries we shouldn't be sending aid to any country, in my opinion, but specifically we shouldn't be sending aid to countries that have laws like this. Because it's like tacit approval, in my opinion, if we're paying these countries.
You know what? I agree. I agree with that because I'm always saying, like, for instance, you vote with your money. The products that you buy, what you're doing is you're encouraging and supporting those practices, those business practices, that product. So be careful how you vote. Well, it's the same thing if you're gonna send money to charity, or if you're a government sending money to help another country. Why would you want to be supporting and condoning that type of legislation and that type of culture?
And one more, if your religion, like, religious people always tell me that sex is only about procreation, like it's only about producing children, like that's the only purpose. You can't have children with the 8-year-old. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, how do you match like, this is the thing that always bothers me about religious people. How do you match the things in your religion that conflict each other?
Because you can cherry pick it and pretend that the conflict doesn't exist. That's the kind of mental gymnastics that you have to do to be a person of faith. You have to do mental gymnastics, or else it wouldn't make sense, and your mind would have it would implode from all the contradictions that you find in your religious texts.
And
that's why they're all bullshit.
And just for the record, we're not being like anti-Muslim or anything. I mean, India has a
being anti-fundamentalist religion overall. This isn't
Yeah, but
anti-Muslim, this isn't anti-Christian, this is anti-all fundamentalist religion, because it's all bullshit that leads to shit like this.
Right. All forms of fundamentalism, they don't bring positive things to our communities and our planet. They don't. They just bring dogma,
Misery.
they bring prejudice,
War.
they bring sexism, they bring abuse, horror. Yes, absolute horror. Fundamentalism is a cancer upon our society, holding us back as a species.